We've got bullish news in the crypto market today. Volatility Shares Trust aims for listing of leveraged Bitcoin futures ETF, and this could take the market upwards, I believe. At least Bitcoin and hopefully the alts are gonna follow. So we are still waiting for BlackRock ETF to be approved, but there is this leveraged Bitcoin futures ETF which is very close to being approved apparently. It hasn't been like 100% confirmed yet, but apparently it is going to happen. So I think it's just like on the last step or something. I'm not exactly sure on the entire process that has to take place, but basically Volatility Shares Trust filed Form 8A with the SEC on the 23rd of June, suggesting that the firm was preparing to launch an investment vehicle the regulator could consider a class of securities under its purview. The registration statement listed the Volatility Shares 2x Bitcoin Strategy ETF under the ticker symbol BITX, which would offer leveraged exposure to Bitcoin corresponding to 2 times the daily performance of the S&P CME Bitcoin Futures Daily Roll Index. I'm not going to go through this whole article. It was posted by Cointelegraph, so just check this out if you are interested. I'm going to be posting a link in the description of this video, but again, we still don't know anything about BlackRock yet. They had applied for that spot Bitcoin ETF, but it's going to be the US first if it's going to get approved. Now, apparently this hasn't become effective yet because it says here that the Volatility Shares Trust website stated that it planned to start trading on the 27th of June, but added that the registration statement has not yet become effective. So we'll see if this goes live on the 27th or not, but nevertheless, with regards to Gary Gensler, his job is at risk apparently with BlackRock's first spot Bitcoin ETF and other news. And the other interesting part is this section here. While the US financial regulator has not approved any spot crypto ETF, it began allowing ETFs linked to BTC futures starting in 2021, including those from Valkyrie and ProShares in May and June respectively. Valkyrie applied with the SEC for listing its own leveraged Bitcoin futures ETF as well as a spot BTC ETF. And the filing came amid the SEC being entrenched in lawsuits against crypto exchanges Binance and Coinbase for alleged unregistered security offerings. And some US lawmakers have called for the removal of SEC Chair Gary Gensler and his perceived regulation by enforcement approach to crypto firms and others. So we'll see what happens. If Gary Gensler does go out from his seat, then things are going to be bullish, I think, for crypto. At least that's my take on it. I mean, he has been very brave, let's face it, because a lot of people, a lot of powerful people have invested in crypto in the US, right? And we're talking people in the government as well, even if they don't want to admit it. So many people want to see the SEC support these ETFs. That's my take on it, right? Many of those powerful people, but maybe there has been some restrictions behind the scenes, you know, some disagreements. I don't know the story, obviously, you know, nobody really knows the story, only those people do or those close to them. You know, but this is what we know so far. I mean, there's been a lot of fighting with regards to these regulations. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, I wanted to talk about this. Polkadot Decoded. It is going to happen next week. I'm really looking forward to it. I am going to be attending. If you're attending, just come and say hello to me. If you're in Copenhagen, of course. If not, then you'll probably see me and other people as well. If you're part of one of the viewing parties around the world, or if you just registered to watch it online, because you can do that as well, and you can just watch it online from the comfort of your own home. This is going to be interesting. There are going to be a lot of big players at this event. Vodafone, Deloitte as well. You can see it here on their website. Again, if you had registered, you had to download the application and you just simply access the QR code there. And you can even register to some of those side events. There are quite a lot of side events there. There's an opening one which unfortunately has been fully booked, so it's not possible to attend anymore. There's also a closing one which you can still book, and you can do so through the application. It's very easy. You just simply add it to your schedule and then it basically registers you if it's still possible. If it's not, then it's not going to allow you to add it to your schedule. So it's really, really simple within the app if you download the app on iOS or Android. And next, I want to talk about this here. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to do this initially, but I thought, you know, I am going to try because I understand that there is a lot of pressure at the moment, given it's a bear market. You know, communities are not really happy, at least, you know, people like validators, people that are within the Polkadot community, you know, ones that are following it more closely, not just the holders. They're not really happy when it comes to these treasury spends. A lot of grifters have been trying to take advantage of these. We've seen this on Kusama. If you've been watching this channel, I've been covering a lot of that information. And so on Polkadot, we're seeing a lot of spam right now with regards to referendums. Now, I am part of the spam as well. I've actually created one today. It is for a little bit of funding, not much, just enough to sustain this channel so I can continue to produce that Polkadot content for you, because I obviously don't want to abandon this ecosystem altogether. I want to focus on multi-chain. I want to cover other ecosystems as well. But at the same time, I also want to stick around in Polkadot. I do believe it has a great future. Now, with regards to Kusama, I didn't actually do it yet because it's still locked up, but I am planning to sell some of that Kusama for other cryptocurrencies, perhaps even for some DOT, because really what I want to do is I want to focus on these open governance treasury proposals. On Polkadot now, I am going to be more active from this side. So hopefully if I can get this funding, I can then produce these videos. I'm even thinking of an initiative where I can interview some of these proposers who are launching these proposals here. And so if I can do like a short interview, maybe like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you can get a general idea of what this is about. What is the reason why they want to launch that proposal, what is the reason that they want the funding. And when you hear it from the person, when they get questions asked, then things are going to be more open, more easier to digest for you. If you don't have time to go through these proposals, they can be quite detailed, right? Let's be honest here. I mean, they're not easy to digest, especially if you've got a busy schedule yourself, you've got a full-time job. Imagine like trying to go through each of these proposals and voting. That's the reason many people don't vote. And so the active voters would love the opportunity to find out what these proposals are about in a simple way. So maybe if I can interview some of these people who are launching these proposals and I can ask the direct questions like, okay, what is the reason you're launching this proposal? What have you done before? How are you going to report this? So if we can get them to share more information in the video within 15-20 minutes, then you can get a general idea of what this is about. And then you can make your own informed decision of whether you should vote aye or nay. Right? So this is what I want to get to eventually, right? Right now, I'm not going to be able to do that. I am going to follow a different format. If I do manage to get this to pass, right, I'm going to be covering these proposals, but I'm going to cover all of them rather than interview the actual proposers themselves. So the idea is that in the future, after I get this funding, I am going to be working on a plan to see how I can make it easier for you, the viewer, who wants to vote, but who doesn't have time to go through these proposals. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. And also, please, if you hold DOT and you want to support this channel so that I can continue to produce Polkadot related content for you, just simply vote for referendum 37 under the Big Tipper track. Just go to vote here, enter the amount you want to vote with, choose the conviction, and bang, that's it. Simple as that. With regards to lockups for the conviction, now it's the same as Kusama, so it's not as long as it used to be. Originally when governance won for Polkadot, it used to be like 890 days for a 6x conviction vote. Now it's like 211 days or something like that. So it's much, much lower. If you want to know more information with regards to referendum 37, you can find this info right here. Okay, you can see it right here. It's available, so just have a read through. I am going to do 25 videos for a period of roughly 2 months. If I finish this sooner, then I'm going to finish this sooner. So be it, that's great, right? If not, then it's going to be around 2 months. And then I'm going to work on the next plan to make life easier for you with regards to Polkadot OpenGov proposals, because this is one of the things that people in the community are struggling with right now, right? To try to get that information as to why they should vote aye or why they should vote nay. Next, I want to talk about Acala. We have huge news from Acala, and huge is really the real world here, because if you remember when I interviewed Brian Chen, he did say in that video that he's working on a plan to change AUSD, and he didn't lie. He was right? He told us the truth, right? We were concerned that maybe it's not the truth, but he did tell us the truth. So fair play to Brian. I really appreciate him doing that. And they have come across now with a seed. Okay, that is going to be the Exodus plan for Acala. Apparently, they're going to convert AUSD to a seed. And I had a look through it. It is a long one. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But ultimately, what they want to do is they want to basically convert everything that's to do with AUSD into a seed, but ACA, the official coin for Acala, the governance coin and the main utility one, is gonna remain the same. So they're not gonna change that. They didn't say anything about KuCoin here, so I don't know if they're gonna work with KuCoin on this. I don't know if a seed is gonna get listed on KuCoin. Perhaps AUSD is going to get delisted and then a seed is never going to get listed. I don't know what the story is there. Maybe there was some drama there behind the scenes. But the idea is that a seed is going to be working differently than AUSD. So it's not just going to be backed in the same way as when you're generating it, like when you're minting that AUSD because you're getting that loan, right? It's not going to be like that. It's going to be backed by other methods as well. Okay, so as you can see here, it even tells you that Acala has been reliant on DOT and DOT derivatives as collateral and liquidity and has been leading the Polkadot native assets, TVL and XTM transaction volume. But with the Exodus plan, this will be taken to the next level, and with the expanded scope, to fully take advantage of this, an initial step of the Exodus plan is to boost DOT LSDs to DOT and to other LSDs and to USDC, USDT liquidity. Meanwhile, launch with new LSD partners and have significant synergy with Acala and prepare expansion for multi-chain LSDs. So that's the idea here. And here they came up with the whole plan. You can see how the Universal Asset Hub is going to work. So the Acala Farm, Acala Emission, Project Tokens, they're also going to upgrade the tokenomics. They said here that initially they had 100 million ACA emission per year for 6 years. And then 50% of which reserved for ACA staking and 50% reserved for yield farming for liquidity pools, dApps built on UAH and other avenues that help build liquidity and adoption. ACA will periodically be burned based on voted parameters such as percentage of unspent amount, every spent period, and the amount of fees generated by the network, which over time will make ACA deflationary. Now, I don't know about this exactly, right? I need to look more into this, to be fair, because this is a lot of information to receive here and to try to understand. So I basically just read this article. I didn't have time. I know there are people in the community that likely know more than I do because they have been reading about this, especially ACA holders, because I know that you are all hurt. I can understand the pain, right? It hasn't been easy. And so we'll see how things go. But yeah, the idea is that they are going to change the tokenomics. They're going to do this rebranding. And I did find something interesting here with regards to one of the comments here. Let me go back here down. There we go. Yeah, BRX. So he says here, BRX says, I think changing the core tokenomics of ACA is a grave mistake, as the Acala name has been dealing with trust issues for a long time since the AUSD DPEG. We were made to believe since the beginning that ACA is non-inflationary, capped at 1 billion supply and fully distributed. You're proposing to change that while dealing with trust issues from the community. However, if this is the best plan the team can come up with, then I see no other way but to accept the fact that there's no other way to promote growth other than minting. The best way forward is to leave ACA behind in favor of AUSD, and I suggest you do the right thing and completely rebrand. You are already changing the AUSD to ACA. You should also change ACA to a new token and a new project name. Not only are you leaving behind the bad rep gained by the name Acala, by doing so, you are at least acknowledging the failure and leaving the core tokenomics of ACA intact. You simply cannot change the entire tokenomics while creating ACA and telling us ACA has a fixed supply. Question is, until when? You've changed the supply of ACA. How can we believe you to not do the same with ACA if things go wrong again in the protocol level? Okay, he raised a really good question here. Let's face it, right? I mean, things have been wrong with Acala once, right? Twice, in fact, because there was another issue with one of the bugs. I think it was on T-Dot. If I'm not mistaken, it was reported by 0x Taylor, who is a security expert, not too long ago on Twitter, like a number of months ago. And so, you know, if issues like that had occurred in the past, what's to say they're not going to happen again, right? There's no guarantee. It's coding at the end of the day. Bugs can exist. And so he says here, I have no problems with the upgraded tokenomics of a fresh token to promote growth and to revive the core concepts and objectives of the projects. Many DeFi tokens are doing it, inflating supply for yield farming and introducing burning mechanisms. But this is not what ACA is reported as. Do not change ACA tokenomics. This will be a grave mistake. Use this opportunity for a fresh start with a set of new tokens and improved tokenomics. Changing ACA will horribly backfire. Regards, BRX. And so, you know, this is how it is. And he's right. He's right. Look, Betty has replied. I'm really happy to see Betty is engaging with people who have legit concerns or legit questions. Okay, so she says here the original ACA scope has long been delivered, but we can't stop there. We've also built EVM Plus, multi-chain asset router, new LSDs, and with Exodus, more infrastructure and protocols will be built, which neither ACA can support the growth, nor can ACA holders share the fruit of the growth. Part of the upgrade is to align engagement and growth. Also, emission is never intended to be permanent, but for a period to bootstrap and grow the Exodus plan. ACA will stay as a cap token and potentially deflationary over time. Okay, we'll see. We'll see how things go. I mean, what can we say, right? What can we say? At the moment, all we can do is we can take their word for it. But I'm not 100% convinced personally, okay? This is me personally, like I wouldn't be too convinced until I see some progress. Like I'd rather just miss out. I'd rather see like the token price pump, I don't know, 2x, 3x and miss out, and to see them progress, to see them really build something cool, and to work on their issues, the issues that they've had in the past, of course, to regain their reputation, rebuild it, fix the problems, convince us that their DeFi platform really is that good. And then I would be happy to say, yes, I'm now happy to be onboarded again onto Acala, maybe even buy a bag, right? So yeah, until I see something like this happen, I'm still doubting it. But again, I don't want to be like completely excluding them, because let's face it, like they could have just stepped away from this, but they didn't. And they decided to work on a plan to make this work. So we'll see if they can really make this work. Will the investors trust them? I don't know. I think the investors are still thinking like maybe, I'm not so sure, right? Let's face it. I mean, they've had issues and investors can't be happy with that. But let's see if people are giving them a second chance. Let's see if the community can, forgive them for what they've done. That's the big question. Can the community forgive them? Because if the community can, then things are going to be fine. And then we're going to see, the typical stuff. Acala attending events, conferences again, promoting it with a new DeFi platform, which is working well, etc. This is the real pipe dream right now. Can we get to that pipe dream? I don't know. Don't ask me that. But, there's a chance that maybe they can walk on the right track again. That's been it from today's video. Thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.